They said friendship lasts forever, but no one ever warned them what happens when forever starts to feel like love. The rain fell softly on the dorm roof that night, a steady, gentle rhythm against the window. Mint was sitting on the floor, her back against the bed, phone glowing in her hands. She was scrolling through old photos, a digital scrapbook of her life with June. There they were, in their stiff high school uniforms, arms slung around each other, grinning like fools. Another one from a messy sleepover, faces smeared with chocolate, hair a total wreck. Every picture, every memory, carried the same smile, that easy, genuine smile that only best friends ever truly share. But tonight, something was different. Looking at June's smile, that familiar, wonderful smile, made Mint's heart race in a way she couldn't quite understand, or maybe, a way she didn't want to admit she understood. It was a warmth that spread through her chest, a little flutter she'd been trying to ignore for months. It wasn't just friendship anymore, was it? The thought was terrifying and exhilarating. A sudden, sharp knock broke the silence. "Open up, Mint. I forgot my umbrella." June's voice, a familiar melody, called out from the hallway, a mix of laughter and shivering. Mint scrambled to her feet, her heart doing that strange little flip again. She pulled the door open, and there was June, hair dripping wet, sticking to her forehead, her cheeks flushed a rosy pink from the cold. And she was holding a plastic bag full of snacks like some kind of soggy, adorable delivery girl. Even soaked and disheveled, she looked effortlessly, breathtakingly beautiful. Mint's breath caught in her throat for just a second. "You're completely crazy," Mint teased, her voice coming out a little softer than she intended. "It's raining like the world's ending out there." June just shrugged, a playful glint in her eyes as she stepped inside, leaving a small puddle on the welcome mat. "I wanted to see you," she said simply. "And also," she dramatically pulled a large bag of seaweed chips from her collection. "I brought peace offerings for the Queen of Moods." Mint couldn't help it. She burst out laughing. That was them. That was their entire relationship in a nutshell. They could be arguing 1 minute, and then one of them would show up with snacks and all would be forgiven. They called it friendship because it was messy, complicated, and not always perfect, but it was theirs. It was real. They settled onto the floor, side by side, so close that their shoulders touched. The dim glow of Mint's desk lamp cast a warm, intimate light around them, making the small dorm room feel like its own little world. The sound of the rain outside was a comforting backdrop to the crinkling of the chip bag. Their knees brushed. It was a small, accidental touch, but it lingered. It felt too long, too warm, too intentional to be just an accident. June noticed it too. Of course, she did. She always noticed everything. The easy chatter died down, and a different kind of silence filled the air. It wasn't awkward. It was heavy with unspoken things, charged with a tension that had been building between them for weeks, maybe even months. June turned to look at Mint, her expression suddenly serious, her usual playful light replaced by something deeper, more vulnerable. "Hey," she started, her voice barely a whisper. "Do you ever think about us?" Mint's heart didn't just skip a beat. It felt like it stopped completely. "Us?" she repeated, her voice small. She tried to play dumb, to pretend she didn't know exactly what June was asking, but the look in June's eyes made it impossible. "Yeah," June said, her gaze steady and unwavering. "Like, more than friends?" The room froze. The world outside seemed to disappear. Only the gentle patter of the rain spoke. Mint stared into June's eyes, those soft, kind brown eyes that had been her constant, her anchor, through every heartbreak with some stupid boy, through every stressful exam, through every single silly, wonderful, and terrible moment of her life. They were the eyes she looked for in a crowded room. They were home. "Sometimes," Mint finally whispered, the admission hanging in the air between them, fragile and true. "But I don't want to ruin what we have. I couldn't lose you." A sad, gentle smile touched June's lips. "What if it's not ruining it?" she asked softly. "What if it's just the next part of our story?" And just like that, something inside Mint broke open. It was like a dam bursting. All the unsaid feelings, all the stolen glances she'd tried to bury, all the times her heart ached just to be a little closer to June, it all came rushing to the surface. She wasn't thinking anymore. She was just feeling. Without a second thought, Mint leaned forward. And in that same instant, June met her halfway. Their lips touched. It was soft, hesitant, trembling. It was unsure and questioning. But it was so real. It was the kind of kiss that stops time, that rewrites history, that changes everything. It tasted like salt from the chips and rain, and something that felt impossibly like coming home. Mint was the first to pull back, her lungs burning, her mind reeling. That was she started, but the words wouldn't come. Perfect, June finished for her, a shy, radiant smile spreading across her face. And then they both started to laugh. It was a nervous, giddy, happy, and absolutely terrified laugh all at once. The tension was gone, replaced by a sparkling, brand new feeling. Later that night, the rain had slowed to a quiet, peaceful drizzle. They were lying side by side on Mint's narrow dorm bed, the blankets pulled up to their chins, the space between them gone. In the quiet dark, June's voice was a soft whisper. You know, people always said our friendship was weird. Mint smiled into the darkness, turning her head on the pillow to look at June's silhouette. Yeah, I guess they were right all along. Friendshit forever? June asked, her voice laced with a hopeful question. Mint shifted closer, pressing a gentle kiss to June's forehead. Friendship, love, whatever this is, she whispered back, her heart full. It's forever. Outside, the world was quiet, but inside, two hearts finally beat in the same rhythm for the very first time, not just as best friends anymore, but as something beautiful, something new, something just beginning. Thanks for watching. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more stories that explore the beautiful, complicated journey of love. See you next time.